Sri Lanka is known for its great tea, exotic beaches, and biodiverse geography. This country will leave you speechless with its beauty. If you want to visit Sri Lanka, you may be wondering what are the best places to visit during your stay. Well, we've got the answers for you. In today's video, we'll be telling you about all the most beautiful and interesting places in Sri Lanka that you must stop by while touring Sri Lanka. From the awe-inspiring Adams Peak to the wonderful Udawalawe National Park and the Old Dutch fort of Gale, we've included a little something for all kinds of tourists. So let's dive in and explore what Sri Lanka has to offer to its visitors. Colombo. Colombo is one of the biggest cities in Sri Lanka, which is why it has a lot to offer. But unfortunately, most people leave this city as soon as they land. In the food, architecture, and art of Colombo, some remains of its previous Portuguese, Netherlands, and British colonial rule can be seen mixed in with the indigenous culture. This makes Colombo a unique place for exploring the wonderful culture and history of Sri Lanka. There are tons of things to do in Colombo. You can visit the various museums and the planetarium in the city. Or you can head to the beach since Colombo is a coastal city. Alternatively, you can go to the city's public playground for fun. The Pita floating market is also a must-see during your stay. The Colombo Lotus Tower is a popular tourist attraction as well for those who love to admire architecture. From the top of the tower, you can see the entire city laid out in front of you. There's a mall and a restaurant inside the building as well, where you can have a memorable evening. We also highly recommend a picnic at Bear Lake. Colombo is one of the best places to visit in Sri Lanka since there's so much to do here to get the full Sri Lanka experience. Adams Peak. No visit to Sri Lanka is finished without going to the famous Adams Peak. There's nothing more satisfying than hiking all the way to the top of this natural wonder. On your way, you'll get to see wonderful lush green landscapes. And once you're at the top, the scenic view is bound to be breathtaking. It'll leave you speechless, that's for sure. Many people choose to climb up Adams Peak during the night so they can see the gorgeous sunrise from the peak. Near the top of the mountain, you can also see Adam's footprint or Sripada. It's a footprint-like shape in a stone, which is thought to be Adam's footprint by many cultures. The native Buddhists, however, consider it to be a footprint of the Buddha. For Buddhists, this site holds a lot of religious significance. This curious rock formation is a very popular tourist attraction. Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage. The Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage is exactly what its name suggests, an orphanage for baby elephants. Yes, it is as wholesome as it sounds. You can visit the Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage and see the baby elephants having the time of their life playing around in the river and enjoying the sun. This orphanage also houses older elephants. It's absolutely heartwarming to see these gentle beasts roaming around right in front of you. The Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage is bound to be the highlight of the whole trip to Sri Lanka for your kids and any wildlife lover. There's also the Pinnawala Zoo nearby, which is well worth the visit to visit. Mirissa. Keeping in theme of nature's gentle giant, your next stop on your trip through Sri Lanka should be the beautiful Marista Village, since it is the best place in the country to go whale watching. This little village is a peaceful place with no crowds of tourists to annoy you. You can just relax on the beachside and enjoy the view of the sea. Most of the villagers here are fishermen, so you'll see a lot of fishing boats out in the sea. A big advantage of this is that there's always tasty seafood readily available. So don't miss out on the local cuisines, as they'll leave your taste buds wanting for more. If you want, you can even hitch a ride with the villagers to go fishing with them. The Coconut Tree Hill and Parrot Rock Bridge in the area also provide some great views for you to enjoy. Udawalawe National Park. Udawalawe National Park is the best place in Sri Lanka to see the local wildlife. It was made to provide a place for the animals displaced during the construction of the Udawalawe Reservoir. The Udawalawe National Park houses a large population of elephants, but there are other exotic animals for you to see here as well, such as leopards, deer, and monkeys, alongside other mammals. Plus, this national park houses tons of bird species. Inside the Udawalawe National Park is a transit home for baby elephants that's fun to visit with your kids. You can also travel to the Udawalawe Reservoir, located nearby, for a beautiful view of the Walawe River. Old Dutch Fort at Gale. The city of Gale has a long colonial history. It's also one of the most beautiful cities in Sri Lanka. The most iconic part of this city's skyline is the Gale Lighthouse, which stands towering next to the sea. The city is right next to a beach, so you can have some fun in the sea while you're there. Now, let's talk about the main tourist attraction in Gale, the Old Dutch Fort. The Gale Old Dutch Fort is an entire walled town preserved in its entirety. Inside, you can find shops, restaurants, and hotels. But the real fun begins when you start exploring the fort itself. All of the fort area is free of cars, so you can walk around without any worries. You can see the history of Gale peeping out from every crack as you walk through the old 17th century site. The views of the sea from the fort are just marvelous. It's no wonder the whole area of the fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Kandalama. Another memorable experience you can get in Sri Lanka is in the beautiful village of Kandalama. There are tons of luxury hotels in the village, so your stay will be extremely pleasant. But the best part is the hot balloon rides. Yes, you heard that right. You can see the beauty of Sri Lanka from the sky by booking a hot air balloon trip at Kandalama. The views surrounding Kandalama are already gorgeous from the ground. You'll be stunned to see them from the sky as well, since the landscape looks even better. The nearby spice gardens are also worth a visit so that you can check out the spices Sri Lanka is so famous for. Arugam Bay. Arugum Bay is the perfect place to get the best beach experience in Sri Lanka. With the turquoise waters and the soothing winds from the sea, few things are as relaxing as these beaches. These beaches are also surrounded by coconut trees, giving a completely different vibe. There are tons of activities readily available at Arugum Bay for you to enjoy. You can go diving and see the aquatic life surrounding the beaches, or you can get a jet ski to go zooming through the sea. Surfboarding is also a popular sport on the Arugum Bay. With so much to do, you won't be bored at any time during your stay. Peradeniya Botanical Gardens. The Peradeniya Botanical Gardens are hands down one of the most beautiful places in the world. The 147 acres of gardens house over 4,000 plant species and over 10,000 types of trees. It's a dream come true for botany enthusiasts. You can relax in the shadow of the lush green trees with a gorgeous view of the blooming flowers surrounding you. It almost feels like the ground is covered in a flowery carpet if you visit during the months in which the flowers are blooming. The Peradeniya Botanical Gardens are also the perfect spot for a picnic. It's highly recommended to visit the nearby Kandy Lake for even more beautiful views. So, these were the best places in Sri Lanka for you to visit during your trip. Did we leave out your favorite place in Sri Lanka? Why not tell us all about it in the comments section? Until next time, stay safe on your journeys.